Welcome to NWA and Beyond. This is Carter Clark.
And I'm Russell King.
And we're here with the one and only Zach Brothers.
Hey, guys. It's good to be here.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming and sharing. So we're going to go through all things. So Zach lives in downtown Springdale.
Right.
Got the Hideaway, which is the first ever
Community Land Trust.
Affordable housing in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Affordable housing. So we're going to talk about all things downtown Springdale. We're going to talk about the Hideaway. We're going to talk about all that stuff. But let's start off talking about you.
Hey, man, that sounds great.
So you and Sarah are working together. So tell us how all this went about. What were you doing before real estate?
Oh, gosh, where do I start? Well, you guys are going to have to pull me back if I get too long-winded, all right?
You're good. We got time.
Mom and Dad moved us to Rogers, Arkansas in 1978. Dad's a banker. I'm one of four kids. Mom's an industrial engineer. So I had real good parents. Graduated from Rogers High in 1993, and went to the U of A. And not too long after I got to the U of A, my dad said, "Hey, there's this girl you need to meet." And as it turns out, to make a long story short, my dad and Philip Taldo, my father-in-law, were both involved with Arvest Banks, and they set Sarah and I up. So we say we had it was an arranged marriage.
Yeah, a banker's arranged marriage banking relationship.
Oh yeah, so that was probably my intro to real estate. Was meeting Sarah and marrying into the family, but I hauled her down to Conway, Arkansas. I went to physical therapy school and finished that in 1999, and then Sarah and I moved back to Springdale. She pulled me into Springdale, which I love. So I'm definitely a Springdale guy now. And
real quick, I mean, there's been several people that I talk with, and we all think, well, Zach's just a native of Springdale, because you do. I mean, you put that out there that you love Springdale so much, which is kind of cool.
You know what? I think that's awesome. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I love my Rogers hometown, but I really have tried to make Springdale my hometown, and we've really embraced it being downtown. We like to be in the know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know everything down there.
Oh, we try.
And y'all live down there. Y'all invest down there. Y'all buy and eat, and everything down there.
That's right. Yeah, we've really made an effort to dig in down there. So we did that. We did that about 8 years ago. Decided to move downtown. We were walking the neighborhood out by the kids' schools where we lived, where we had built a house, and I told Sarah we weren't moving again.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
And she said, "Well, hear me out, and I want to go have an adventure." What she's so good at talking me into things, and
she sells the story.
Well,
sells the sizzle.
Yeah, she's got great ideas too. So she said, "I want to go do something fun. We've always done stuff for the kids, live by the kids' school. So let's go have an adventure." So we started spending some time in downtown Springdale, and we found us one we wanted to buy, and then we put that under contract, and found us one that we thought we wanted to live in, and put that one under contract, and built the first one out as an Airbnb, and then been slowly working on ours over 8 years, and then bought some other things. Just really wanted to be a part of the revitalization that was going on down there.
Sweet. So let's get back to it. So y'all go to Conway. You're in PT school.
That's right. Went to Conway Physical Therapy School, finished that in 99, came back up here and really started to dig into Springdale, and was excited about that. And Philip Taldo, my father-in-law, said to his daughter, my wife, you ought to get your real estate license. And she thought, well, that's a good idea. She has a degree in psychology. That's
pretty much what we do.
Exactly. She used to say, I don't know
if
I
use... That's a perfect degree for this.
There's no doubt about it. She used to say, I've got this psychology degree, and I'd say, trust me, you use it every day. Every day. But so she got her real estate license. I started into the world of physical therapy. Philip, then he said, not too long after that, hey, you guys ought to consider buying some rental property. And I said, well, what should we buy? He said, doesn't matter, just start buying. So we bought a few rental properties. And then about 2007, I decided to get my real estate license as well, so that I could help Sarah with open houses, et cetera, really just whatever, but also with the, I enjoyed getting the knowledge with having the little rental property company, and we have known for probably 15 years or so that we wanted to do what we're doing now, which was have a real estate team where we do all things real estate. So about 4 years ago was when I sold out of the physical therapy practice. Trinity Rehab, great physical therapy company.
You're going to get rehab.
That's right. Trinity Rehab, Bella Vista, Springdale, and Fayetteville.
Yeah, it is.
But we
Sponsors of NWA and Beyond.
yeah, exactly. I'll be giving them a call, try to get you guys a check. But yeah, we wanted to do all things real estate, and on the realtor side, Sarah's she's so good at what she does. She's been doing it for 26 or 27 years. So my goal with that was to be as good as I could be, but really to support her as much as I could. And so we do a lot of we do residential sales and commercial sales and leasing. And then we decided we wanted to get into some development. We had the rental property company we'd been working on. We wanted to be able to grow that and get into a little development, which we try to help Philip with what he's doing, but we wanted to do some of our own stuff.
Yeah,
and that's where the Hideaway comes into play.
Well, and that's where Philip thrives.
Yeah.
You get in. Anytime you're with him, he can just see it and picture it and imagine what's going on. And then with y'all. So you guys moved to downtown Springdale before it was downtown Springdale. It was the OG downtown Springdale when y'all moved there?
We wanted to be pioneers a little bit.
Yep.
So we were walkers. We would go on walks most night, and for a long time there we would talk about how there was no one else walking. And then before we knew it, there was somebody else. And shoot, now you walk around down there, and there's a lot of buzz going on.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Down there.
Downtown
It really
Springdale
is.
So wonderful.
It is. I don't know the current stat, but back whenever we were launching the Hideaway after we finished it, there were $400 million that were under construction down there, or it was either under construction or in the planning phases. Some of those projects have been finished, but we just keep adding new ones down there.
Every time you turn around, there's another one going on.
It's exciting. It's exciting, and it's a great excuse. Us living down there and needing to be in the know is a great excuse to go try every new restaurant that opens up down there.
You got to be able to recommend with not firsthand knowledge.
That's right. We're gonna
Nothing
have
else will work.
friends and clients. They want to know, so we've got to be able to tell them.
There you go. So let's jump into the Hideaway. So you got ready to start doing development.
That's right.
And then you found the Hideaway project, which is a unique project to begin with. So I think share a little bit about the vision when you started on the Hideaway and then where it ended up. And
Sure.
all that sort of thing.
Absolutely. It was a great project for me to be involved in, with jumping out of the physical therapy world and into the real estate world. And, to give credit where credit's due, Sarah and Philip had been working on that. They found the land and had been talking about doing something. And Sarah had been studying infill developments, specifically cottage court developments, which are just really cool. And she had this vision to really help with the issue in Northwest Arkansas, the rising cost of housing, is that, hey, we can make something affordable and it can still be really nice. Just make them small. So she'd been doing a lot of studying on that, and plus we had adult children that we knew in just a few short years would be to that point to where they would want to buy something. So we were thinking about them and their
both
friends.
Your kids
and
moved back to Springdale.
They did,
both
yeah.
Back in Springdale after college.
Right. Cole is our 29-year-old, and he's with Core Brewing and Distilling Scarlet Letter Beverage Company, which is a great Springdale business, and he's worked his way up there. He's sales director or COO or something over there. He's done really well. Proud of him. And he bought his first house downtown. He's north of Emma Street. We're south of Emma Street. And then Ashlyn, our daughter, she's in the TV business. She was a reporter, and now she's an anchor. But she went over to Tulsa for a while and New Orleans, and then we finally got her back, and she's a morning anchor at KNWA. So proud of her. And she bought her first house also in downtown Springdale. So we're all within walking distance of each other,
amazing.
Which is pretty awesome. But the the Hideaway. Is that what we
We're
were
back to
on?
the
So
Hideaway.
back to the Hideaway.
So
I love
how'd
this.
y'all- So y'all came up with Sarah kind of thought through this whole thing on
That's right.
style homes.
And Philip had his eye on this land, and Sarah had been talking about it. Well, then I jumped into the mix because I got out of PT, and I remember I did not know what I was doing, but I wanted to contribute and really work on this thing. So I went to Hobby Lobby and bought one of those big foam boards that has the grid on it, and I just sat down and just drew it out to scale the land. And then we had been looking at some little house plans, some little accessory dwelling unit plans, and so I cut those out to scale and just started piecing them in around there. And we came up with some different designs. And they had met already a couple times with the planning department downtown Springdale. So then I got to get involved in those meetings and started talking about these layouts and really learning about how much goes into it when it comes to zoning and utilities and
especially for something new like this. Like this isn't a normal concept. This isn't a rubber stamp,
that's right.
Development where they walk in and they go, oh yeah, we've done 50 of these. This is what you got to do, X, Y, Z. This is a whole new kind of layout. You're walking into planning and zoning.
That's right. Especially with this infill development, which is a big deal now in Northwest Arkansas with the way we're growing and trying to increase density. But the Cottage Court project that we ended up doing, the zoning didn't exist whenever we hatched this plan. But the planning department said, hey, we've got this thing called the form-based code, which is a zoning downtown to try to help with increased density, and we want to update the form-based code, and we would like to have cottage courts available in there. So why don't we meet and talk about this? We have a concept, you guys have a real-world plan, and let's put the two together. So that was a fun process.
Man, you get to learn a lot on
You
that
do.
one, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I did for sure, and there's a lot to learn, but it was a lot of fun too. Lots of pieces though, but the neat thing really on that was kind of going from A to Z with with finding the land and hatching the plan and going through the planning process and then the development process and then the construction process and then the sales process. And then the neat thing about it is that we got to turn around and now list 10 of them for the entity that bought 10 of them.
So how many did y'all do total in that?
There were 14. So we were able to we sold out of the gate. We sold a couple of them. We wanted to keep some. We ended up keeping 2 as investment property, and then we sold a package of 10 to the nonprofit group that ended up forming the Community Land Trust.
So if you were to describe one of these units for somebody that's never seen them, they're unique. They're super nice. But they are small, like you said. So how would you describe them to somebody that was interested in buying one that couldn't walk through it or look at a picture of it?
They're awesome, really. The original plan, which is a pretty neat story. It came from a grant that the Walton Foundation gave. But the original plan, they actually had 4 of these plans drawn up. They're called ADUs, or accessory dwelling units. So we found these plans and we thought that really fits what we want to do, because we want something, we need to be able to fit several homes on this property to make it work and really to catch the vision with the cottage court. So the particular plan that we chose it's 840 square feet. It's 2-story though, so it's 420 square feet stacked on top of 420 square feet. It's very efficient. Like I told you before, we wanted to build something that was really, really nice, but keep it affordable just by building it small. Yeah. It's a great transition property from somebody that wants to get out of renting, say, a townhouse or something, and into ownership. It feels similar to a townhouse. It's got a nice covered front porch. You walk in the front door, the downstairs is open with a big living space, a half bath under the stairs, a kitchen. You go up the stairs, and upstairs has a full bathroom, a bedroom, and what we call a flex room. It's got a landing at the top of the steps, and then a flex space that can be used for a lot of different things.
So then y'all sell 10 of these to the Community Land Trust.
That's right.
And then so now let's get into this, because this is one of the coolest things going on in Northwest Arkansas right now, and there's not a lot of information out about it except for the gospel that you're spreading on it, right?
And we're trying to spread the word anytime we can. I love talking about it because it's just such a neat project and a neat opportunity.
And the first one in Arkansas.
The first one in Arkansas. So the nonprofit entity is called Bring It Home. The community land trust they formed is called Bring It Home Community Land Trust, BIHCLT. And we're really just now up and running with it now. We've got people in various points of the process. And so the nuts and bolts of this community land trust is that they have the homes appraised. They appraised at $250,000. They're reselling them at $160,000. So they're leaving $90,000. Yeah, $90,000 equity with the community land trust, and that's how they keep them perpetually affordable. Now, in order for somebody to buy one for $160,000, they have to be income eligible. And right now, guys, this is getting ready to change. We think in a week or two, around May 1st. But right now, a single person household, they look at your income, how many incomes there are in there. So if you have one income in the household, $57,050. If you make under that or under that, you are eligible to buy one of these. And that number comes from the area median income. Every MSA, the Northwest Arkansas Metropolitan Statistical Area, has an area median income, and they go 80% of that and below. That's what the $57,000 is. Two people household income, it's going to be 65 and some change, 65.2, I think. But we're very hopeful that those numbers are going to adjust upwards so that we'll have more people that'll be eligible coming up here in another week or two. But back to the nuts and bolts of the community land trust. If you're eligible, there's a process. They Bring It Home wants you to go through an orientation session. It's online. Really smart of them the way they have it set up. They want they want to be completely transparent and for everybody to know exactly what it is that they're getting. Their owner occupant is one thing. So it's
have them rent them.
That's right. Which my hat's off to the investors that have called us. They've found out about it and wanted to understand what was going on. And I'll smile and say I'd like to buy something with an instant 90,000 equity also, but that stays with the community land trust. So they buy it for $160. It's got to be an owner occupant, and then when they go to resell down the road, the home will be revalued, and assuming it'll go up, the seller will get their $160 back. So everything they put towards that, they'll get that back, and they'll give them 25% of the increase in equity from there, which is a pretty cool deal.
It's awesome.
It's awesome, yeah.
The nice part about this is it's the first one.
That's right.
But the fact that there's a plan for affordable housing is different.
Oh, right. Yeah, our market is so hungry for affordable housing right now.
Right.
And whatever way some professionals like you, and Sarah and PT for sure, have found a way through that. Sometimes the opportunity just comes knocking on your door. But, I know through you and other stories, there have been a lot of other people that are like, hey, I don't see how this works. I'm not going to chase it. There's too many questions with the city and the MLS and just being a realtor and all those things. And you guys went, hey, let's suss it out and find out the details on how we can overcome all the problems.
And the end result's perpetual affordability.
Right.
Yes.
Essentially, right?
Right. Yeah, well, and thanks for saying all those things. It's been a labor of love for sure, and we felt like some things did line up well for us to be the ones that were involved in this one. So it's been a great deal, and I enjoy talking about it. I'm trying to remember if I got all the little nuts and bolts about it in there. I want to make sure that everybody understands.
Well, if they don't, they can call you.
That's
right.
right.
That's the
Call
whole
me.
point. Is like there's going to be a lot of opportunity, and there's probably a lot of people that qualify for this that are in the application process or having conversations or some point along the way.
That's right.
But it's just going to be a process, right?
That's right.
To get people in there. But the really cool part is it's available.
That's right.
And that's what we want to share and make sure everybody knows that something like this is available. And the hope is it's not the last one, right? Hopefully, like this is just the tip of the iceberg,
They are definitely planning on doing more. This is just the start of it for them. And talking about affordable housing, we've really tried to reframe that for people. There are some people that hear affordable housing and they think the projects or something. We tell people these are really, really nice.
Really nice.
And this this wasn't a government project. This was a private grant for this entity to do this, and they're really just trying to help some folks to have the opportunity to get into ownership with the way housing costs have risen. We know that they've outrun some folks' salaries. So this is a great way for some folks to get in.
And something else is most loan programs. So you still have to either get education, or you have to, you can't make too much money, or you have to be in that graph somewhere. And so it's not far fetched to think, hey, for this affordable situation with the land trust, you have to learn how to do it, and on a buyer side, understand the financing and all those things too. So, a lot of other programs for just normal residential mortgages, you have to go through some type of a 3 or 4 step process, kind of like you're talking about.
I'm glad you mentioned that. It's been fun working with these buyers and talking to them about that process, because I've talked to several that have really enjoyed learning about the community land trust, but also just about mortgages in general, because they have the orientation session, but then they also need to take a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac homebuyers course as part of their process.
So how does the financing work on this? Does the community land trust finance them, or is it secondary financing?
It's secondary financing.
Oh, really?
So the land trust, and we've also, Sarah and I, since we've gotten involved, we've talked to several banks to try to get more banks into the fold to understand what's going on. It's such a specialty product between it being a community land trust and the Hideaway Cottage Court is what they call a horizontal property regime, which is kind of like a condominium complex. So when you finance something in the secondary market, they scrutinize those as well. So there are a couple of banks that Bring It Home has gotten on board that already have the project approved for financing.
Procedure or whatever.
Right.
Well, what other highlights are going on in downtown? So thanks for all the info
you
on
bet.
what's going on in Hideaway. I mean, I think that's going to be a highlight for a lot of people to know that there's an affordable option down there, and hopefully it's not the last, and hopefully there's a lot more coming. What other stuff that's cool that's going on in downtown Springdale in the 8 years you've been there? It's totally different. Like, in 8 years, that place has been transformed from what you originally walked into to what it is now when you go downtown.
It really has. I encourage, if anybody's listening to this and they haven't driven down Emma Street, drive down Emma Street and check
Stop
it
and
out.
eat dinner.
Oh,
Because the food
absolutely.
is awesome.
Oh, they're great restaurants, and we actually have the downtown street dinner coming up in June. That's
that's so
Thing
fun.
is-
yeah, that's a lot of fun where they put the tables in the middle of the street. That's
it's like a
become
block
quite
party with a big
right,
dining room
yeah.
table.
Yeah,
But it's really nice.
Yeah.
yeah, it's become quite a neat community event. Well, gosh, downtown, it's funny. Sarah probably gets tired of when we walk around down there all the time, and my head's always up and looking around, and I'm always, hey, can't wait for this to get done. Always, like a little kid excited. But we've been down there and have been talking about these different things, and it's so exciting seeing some of the things come to fruition. But we've got, let me start down on the east side of Emma Street, moving from 265 back towards 71. An existing thing that I just think is awesome, and I really hope it grows, is the rodeo that we've got down. I mean, how many downtowns have a rodeo? But then you've got the airport, and you've got the Jones Center has a huge campus expansion plan there, where that's just going to be awesome, and it'll be connected to downtown. As we move west down Emma Street, you have the Market Center of the Ozarks, which is just you just need to look that up and see what that's
really
all
cool.
about. It's really cool. Lots of opportunity for that to grow. And you've got the new Springdale Senior Center right there, which has indoor pickleball courts upstairs. They've got the Little Emma project right there, which is housing some nice apartments, and then Big Emma is across the street from that, and that just got finished not too long
Is that
ago.
done now?
It's done now. They're leasing, and they actually also had. I don't know how the grant was structured, but they have some of their units are available for folks that they call it workforce housing that make under a certain amount of the AMI, and they're really, really nice apartments, y'all. Really, really nice. And right adjacent to those, there's a big complex called Via Emma, and that has a big courtyard in the center of it for parking, and I don't know what else is going to be in there, but it just gives it a really, really neat look when they do those center courtyards. You've got a lot of Tyson stuff down there.
Really cool offices the way they redid it.
Oh.
They still look like the old field.
Oh,
old
they took-
street fronts.
Yeah, I got to tour that after they finished it. They took the two old buildings and redid those, and then built a new building up and over the top of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just great. And they've got some stuff going on the north street or the north side of Emma Street. And as you move west across the railroad tracks, there's 202 Railside, which was a big Blue Crane project, a 5-story building that's got all kinds of places to eat and shop down there.
Where is the parking for that? I always wondered that. Is it underneath it?
There is parking behind that for
behind it?
the tenants, the upper 4 floors are tenants, and then there's just city parking.
Gotcha.
And speaking of parking, they some people say, where do I park? There is lots of parking downtown
Yeah.
Springdale. The key is you have to know where it is. So that's one of the things that the Downtown Springdale Alliance is working on, is getting some signage up to show people where the parking is available. And they do have some parking decks in a downtown master plan. So those are in the works, and we're excited about those in the future.
nice.
But there is. I always tell people, hey, there's parking down here. Come on down. You can find it.
You
just
don't have to pay for it.
That's right. You don't have to pay for.
There
You don't have
you
to
go.
pay for it yet. Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
That's right. That's right. Oh, there's the hotel, the Hilton Tapestry Hotel that'll be done, we think, in the beginning of 2027, and then Greg Taylor's Star on Spring right there is awesome. Everybody needs to go see that. Even if you don't go inside, at least look in the windows. That thing if there's a 6-star out there, it's a 6-star. And it's right in there across from
It's
the
first class.
Oh, it is. Yeah, and you've got how many other towns have a neat creek running through downtown that's featured? You can walk right down to it. It's got the park right there, and all the new restaurants that we've got going in there, and some of the ones that have really hung in there and have just really have become staples in the area. We've got right in there as well, and there's more to come. As you move west towards 71, there are more places to.
There's plenty of opportunity still down there.
That's right.
Probably the coolest Onyx to me.
Absolutely.
That's my favorite coffee shop ever down there.
I read an article that said, in whatever this category was, best new coffee shop, that it was first in the world.
Let's go with that. No matter
First
what.
in the
No
world.
matter where it was.
The runner-up was in Paris, I believe, and then third, and whatever this category was in, I think, Los Angeles. But for that,
Springdale,
Onyx is
Arkansas.
Springdale, number one in the world. Yeah, awesome.
Number one.
That Onyx has a basement with a chocolate factory in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's 3 floors. It's got the upper floor, it's got the main level there, and it's got a basement where they make chocolate down there.
Interesting.
It's awesome.
I did not know that.
Yeah, got to go check it out.
That's sweet. Well, Zach, thank you for spending some time with us. Is there any last thoughts that you'd like to share before we let you go back to work?
Man, I want to just say thank you to you guys and Weichert Griffin Company. You guys have a great vision. I love coming into this building. I always feel supported. It's a great place to be. And I'm thankful that here, this is a place where I can just, every day I feel like I can ask God, hey, what path do you want me to follow today? And that's what I want to do. And you guys make that easy to do.
That's awesome, man. That means a lot. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We'll pay you later.
Exactly.
All right, that's the end of our episode. Thank you for spending part of your day with NWA and Beyond, your real estate podcast.